Alrighty. Now, what is Monsanto's? Monsanto's is a government corporation made by G.W. Bush and Dick Cheney. And Monsanto's was also formed by Dow Chemical Company. So you can see why these two depend upon each other. You also have Baxter International, and Baxter International is also an affiliate of Monsanto's, and Baxter is responsible for a lot of atrocities in the pill industry, but in the pharmaceutical pill industry. But anyways, what they do is they use taxpayers' money. That's right, stolen money to fund the stealing of land. But anyways, they use taxpayers' money. And how does the Dow Chemical Corporation fit into this? Herbicides and pesticides. And you got plants that absorb them. And then when the food is consumed, you end up with cancers, sterilization, syndromes of all different sorts. You get Down syndrome, autism, organ damage, and just like vaccines, how you say, your organs go into hyper mode. And then you have obesity, allergies, birth defects and miscarriages, as well as, your bones and stuff getting weak. But anyways, the GMOs are genetically modified organisms. And they splice animal DNA and viruses and human DNA, and they mix them all together. And then you get these weird diseases and stuff that come out, like the swine flu, the avian flu, passing animal viruses to humans, cloned chickens, pigs, cows, sheep, salmon, and other animals. And you see, when they had that mad cow disease, well, they were feeding, ground up roadkill or diseased animals, and they're mixing it in the feed. But it is that, that disease of Kuru. Kuru causes nerve damage and neurological problems. So, anyways, mad cow disease is the same disease as Kuru. Anyways, so these Dow chemicals, you get your fertilizers and stuff that you have to pump into the ground here, and more chemicals. So that makes the farmers basically dependent upon chemicals. And then you get failed crops, because these are supposed to be drought resistant crops, but they fail when there's drought. And then what do? They come in there and they steal a lot of land. There's a lot of farmers being run off their land because they can no longer pay back the seeds. You see, Monsanto patents their seeds, and then they say they own the seeds, or they own the right. Now, if you ask me, Monsanto doesn't own the right to anything, because they never made those seeds in the first place. They just tried to genetically alter the seeds. And, well, you think that really helps humankind? No. Instead, it creates all sorts of havoc with us. But you get the picture about what Monsanto's corporation is. So, if I haven't made it any more clear about what Monsanto's is, Dick Cheney and Bush, all the connection is clear. It's the same thing like when they say mosquito, fogging, and then they're spraying malathion all over your city a few times a year. Or it's like when they say green grass or green blade, those companies that go around putting chemicals all over the place, spraying people's yards and stuff right by schools, and then kids get lung damage and stuff. So then basically all these kids are getting asthmas and stuff, you know. All this stuff comes from your good friends at Dow Chemical Corporation and Monsanto's. That's right, all funded by the government, using taxpayers' money once again for their own, how you say, leisurely pleasures, eh? Or pleasures, whatever you want to say. But remember, what Monsanto's does is they steal land. They run farmers out of business, and then it allows them to acquire more land for growing genetically modified Frankenstein organisms. That's right. But they run farmers right off their land and say if this seed crap blows over into your field and then it grows in your field, even though you never planted it, Monsanto's can come along and sue you and try to take your land. Because they've been doing that to a lot of farmers out there. And if no one's paying attention, why does Monsanto's want to make all the food? Because then they can control exactly what goes into your body. And Monsanto's corporation really is Dow Chemical Company. But anyways, they want to, you know, stop people from growing organic food, clean, healthy food that's chemical free. That's right. You know, diabetes, all that stuff comes from this. Herbicides and pesticides. So, if you get the clear picture, clear as day, you know, this is one more way that the government funds the genocide. And just from the last video, make sure you watch it, because it was about how they poison us with depleted uraniums and stuff. And I almost forgot, when they do the testing for that, they always test upstream and not downstream. And they say the plants leak into the water. It's more like a controlled toxic poisoning. And there's other instances where they've also been found dumping it into the drinking water. And that also goes into, how you say, fluoride, how you say, industrial radioactive waste from Chinese corporations, and they call it fluoride. No wonder so many people are having so many problems. But anyways, skin damage, eczema comes from that. Comes from the fluoride poisoning and damages to your body. But you know, the same slave renting land system, you know, it's the same worldwide. So anyways, just so you're crystal clear on who Monsanto's is, you get the big picture. And then all these elitists invest into all these corporations. That's right, corporations of genocide that try to squeeze out the little farmers and make them chemical dependent farmers. So you see clearly, as clear as it gets, that's Monsanto's in a nutshell. And when you're eating this crappy food, you know, it's kind of rubbery or tasteless, and some people can't tell the difference. But the more and more you're eating this crap, you'll learn it's pretty tasteless from the real stuff. So if you think you can't get mad cow disease, then think again. But anyways, God bless you. Prepare and take care.